Go there. I'm gonna turn the video on. You guys see me in the video? Awesome. Okay, I have to get this music off. Look at that, perfect fading. We rocked it. You guys ready to do this? I'm pumped up for tonight, just so you know. I am pumped up, so I hope you guys are ready to do this. We have 180 of you guys on here, so I want you guys to note that right now. You guys, we have 180 coaches on this call right now. I want you to look at the number of coaches that we have in our Star Diamond training, right? So I want you to take a note of that as we talk today about some very important things that I want to teach you guys. I told you guys we're going to teach some very serious business principles, not just for Team Beachbody, but some principles for business and life all around so that you guys can understand that. It's not my philosophy or anything I've come up with. It's taught by leaders all across the country in business, in personal development, motivational speakers. And I did hit record. The first time I ever learned about Pareto's law, Pareto's principle, was from John C. Maxwell. If you want to write this down, in the book called Developing the Leader Within. Okay, so Developing the Leader Within is when I first read this, and then not going to lie, probably 1 out of 3 books I read mentions the 80-20 law, Pareto's law, man, at least once. So it's going to be very important. I'm going to teach it to you guys in relation to Team Beachbody, because you guys are the 20% that are here. I know you don't understand the 20-80 law yet, perhaps, but you guys are the 20 that are here. So as I'm talking today about this stuff, this message is directly for you. You are meant to be here on this call, and there's a reason for it, and we notice it. So going forward with that, I want to share with you guys just today. I remember, I've shared my story in the calls before, so I'm not going to do that this time. What I'm going to share with you guys today is this law. I took a screen capture today. We just decided today that we were going to do this call in place of the Instagram one. We're going to do Instagram next week, but we're talking about Pareto's law, and I was talking with Mindy today, and I decided and asked her if I could teach this principle to you guys, because I was in Toronto this past weekend speaking with they had a Canadian fitness challenge in Toronto, and I got to speak there. And you know, it was cool being at the event. It was cool teaching. It was cool sharing my story. But the coolest part was hanging out with the coaches. We went out to dinner with a few coaches, and I went out to dinner with, there's Christina right there. She was there. David was there. So I got to meet a lot of coaches, and I got to answer a lot of coaches' questions. And when I listen to a coach or talk to them, I want to know about their story, and I want to know what their successes are and what their struggles are. I like to listen. And I was hearing the same thing over and over from every single coach that I had this conversation with, which all comes back to what I want to teach today. So it was like a culmination of great things. You know, that event prepared me to speak with you guys today about this subject. So I hope you have your notebooks out. I hope you're prepared for the truth, and I hope you're prepared to take it and create the most incredible business and freedom that you've ever imagined, okay? And I can tell you that Brandy, Meg, and Mindy have all applied this law in their lives, and they're applying it every single day. So I'm going to teach it to you in a few aspects. I'm going to teach it to you as far as your own health and fitness goals, as far as it goes with your own goals of personal development and you know, your goals of hitting Success Club. And I'm going to relate it to your goals of your team. So the growth of your personally sponsored coaches and your downline. So I wanted to share with you guys, I remember when I was a brand new coach, having a hard time, I was believing in myself, but I didn't ever believe that I could be like the top coaches, like Lindsay or like anybody else. I remember seeing when I started Lindsay's team, man, you know, I'm thinking about it right now, and it kind of like, it's like strikes me like, holy, this is amazing. But I remember her posting once in a while on our team page, in our team calls, how many coaches joined the team. And if you guys look at this alert here, right now it says you have 210 new coaches in your organization. I remember her sharing screenshots that said 15 new people joined your organization, or 30. And I was like, holy cow, that would be so amazing if I could have 20 people, 20 coaches join my team in one single week. And yes, it seemed impossible to me, but I was willing to listen and do what it took and do the personal development to make that happen for me. I wanted that dream of having 20 coaches join my team in a week. And by applying those principles consistently and passionately and bringing the energy every single day, this is where we're at today. In less than 3 years, we have, and this is the average, what's happening every week, we have 210 coaches joining our organization every week. And just so you guys know, that's close to 1,000 coaches joining our team every single month. So what I'm going to teach you if you apply it, this can happen in your business in the next 1, 2, and 3 years. And let's see by comments there, who thinks that sounds like an amazing idea? Who would like that to happen in your business? That's what I like to see. So, and I really wanted to talk about this, like I said, because I got the opportunity to speak with a lot of coaches that I've never talked to before in Toronto. And this was the subject that happened the most. And this is where I saw the most of the struggle and the biggest thing that was holding people back. So going on to talk about that, I'm going to briefly explain what Pareto's law is to you guys, okay? What it means is, you'll hear me mention it as the 20-80 law, 80-20 law, however you want to say it, but it goes like this. 20% of what you put into something produces 80% of the results. So if you need to, take a picture of this or a screenshot, or you can even Google it later or read it in the books, but 20% of what you do produces 80% of the result. The other 80% of what you do produces the other 20%. So if you look at this, we're going to apply it to many things. We're going to apply it to your nutrition and your health. Like I said, we're going to apply it to your daily activity. You know, you've seen Mindy talk about the daily power hour, the daily to-do list. You've seen my list. And then also I'm going to talk about your coaches, not you, but your coaches as well, and how I lead and how you guys can lead as well, applying this principle. So does this make sense to you guys, the 20-80 law right here? So 20% of what you do produces 80% of the results. And you can apply this as well in your time, like in a goal. Let me tell you, from personal experience on my team of coaches, it's like, and it's for me in my life as well. Or I'll apply it. Let's go back to just a regular business. I had my old job. So let's say I have a month to complete a project. You know, before I ran a service department, I was writing manuals. So in that time, I will honestly say that the first 80% of the month, I got about 20% done. Then that deadline came, right? That deadline comes and you have to get the project done. And then that last 20%, I produce 80% of the job because I have that deadline. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. And that's I've seen that applied in all areas of my life. So applying that, we're going to move forward now into your own nutrition and your own, sorry, it cut off a little bit, your own nutrition and your own health. You know, you've heard people talk about your results are 80% your nutrition, 20% the workout. You know, you can't, I think this said before the picture got cut off, you can't out-exercise a bad diet, I think is what it says. So realize that this aspect applies to your nutrition as well. And so I'm just showing you a few examples so that you can see how this Pareto's law applies in all areas of your life, not just in this Team Beachbody business. But that's one way that applies in your life. Your results come from 80% nutrition, 20% of the workouts, which is why drinking your Shakeology and having that dense nutrition in your body every single day is so important. So do not skip that, because you're making, you know, you're going against the grain if you're skipping out on that or having these cheat meals and thinking because you're working out hard you can eat bad. So realize that is important. That's important as part of the 3 vital behaviors as well, that you become the proof the product works. And if you're always, people say, I'm going off the subject here, but I'm going to tell you, people say, oh, I'm rewarding myself with food. Don't reward yourself with food. That's punishing yourself. You know, it's okay to eat bad stuff once in a while, but reward yourself with something like a pair of jeans in the size that you've been wanting to fit into. Something like that. You are not a dog. So you always feel like crap afterwards. So now I'm going to apply the Pareto principle to your daily activity as a leader. And I'm kind of bummed because this kind of cut off for some reason. I'm new to the MacBook, so give me a break here if some of these slides are cut off just a little bit. A pair of new Nikes, so reward yourself. I want to apply Pareto's principle to your daily activity of a leader. And I might repeat myself like 5 6, 7, 8, 9 times on some of these because I want to drill it into you guys what I'm doing, what the other top leaders are doing with their business to make this happen, okay? I shared in Toronto. I saw Mindy in the group because you guys are leaders and going for Star Diamond. She showed her income like into a 7-figure income just by applying this. Just so you guys know, I went from that as well to a 7-figure income this year in a 3 years period of time. So what I'm telling you works. So please, if you want to grow a business, and like I said in the group, you don't want to babysit people, but want to grow a business and grow leaders, you need to apply this stuff, okay? So, and I saw Christina Hamilton posting right there. Her and I had like a 2-hour conversation about this. So she knows what I'm talking about. So your daily activity as a leader. We're going to talk about you first before we talk about your coaches, because you have to take care of you before you can help and take care of anybody else. Make sure you write that down. And remember, it's important to know what to do, but it's better and more important to do what you know. So it's important to know what you do, but it's more important to do what you know. And you have to take care of yourself first, which is your daily to-do list, which we've talked about. So we're not going to hit on that, but I'll hit on just some of the things in how I can show you how they apply to this law. So 20% of your actions drive 80% of your results. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly. This is the big secret. Aside from being passionate, being disciplined, showing up every single day, making things happen no matter what, and the airplane oxygen rule. Just like I just flew back from Toronto. I'll give that one for you guys if you haven't heard it. You notice they always say if there's lack of oxygen in the airplane, you always put the mask on yourself first and then take care of your children. Same thing goes with this business. That's why the 3 vital behaviors are so important. You've got to do your health. You got to eat right, drink your Shakeology, do your workout, do your personal development. Those are the top things because you've got to be able to take care of yourself first. So 20% of your actions drive 80% of the results. What does this mean? I will tell you guys, okay? I have, and Carl Deichler asked me this on the Surge because it's that important that a CEO of this company wanted you guys to know what we are doing as top coaches to make this happen for you guys. Let's say I spend 7 hours a day, 6 hours a day on my business as a full-time Beachbody coach. I'll put 6 hours down, okay? I'm spending 6 hours. I will tell you guys that 4 hours are focused solely on myself. And I know that sounds weird because we're in a business of helping people, but 4 of those 6 hours are focused on myself, which is my to-do list. It means doing my workout, doing my personal development times 10 because I've got to become better so that my people can become better. And don't make me laugh with that being me up stuff. So I got to do my personal development. I got to do my workout. I'll tell you, those activities right there, they up my results because when I can share my personal development on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel and I can share my results, that's going to increase and be a part of the 80% of my results. Next, adding people to my network, getting people in front of me so I can share with them. So 80% of my time is doing those things and getting on the phone with people. Like quit doing everything on Facebook. Get on the phone with people and meet people in person. That's when the magic happens. So 80% of my time is inviting people to the Beachbody Challenge or inviting challengers to become coaches, figuring out their dreams and their whys, and inviting them to join us, okay? 80% of my time is inviting, and sponsoring people into my coach groups and my my coach groups and my Facebook fitness challenge groups. As far as personal development, I personally do 30 minutes of reading and at least 30 minutes of listening on like YouTube or an audio. But I'll tell you the truth, I listen to personal development every waking second that I have free that I can turn my phone on and hit play on an audio that I have. So when I'm traveling, I'm listening. When I'm sitting in the hot tub, I'm listening. You know, if I'm writing a blog post and just sharing someone's results, I don't have to put too much into it, I'm listening. So every open minute, I'm listening to personal development. And you guys know I'm doing a 52-book challenge this year. I'm reading or listening to 52 books this year and having my team do that as well. So if you want to be a leader, you have to outread your team, okay? So those are the things that create the 80% of the results. Now here's the 80%, or here's, and then we have the 20% of your time, or the 80% of your time that creates, at the bottom you can see there that little light green. 80% of the time produces the last 20% of the results. That's the stuff that just is important to do, but it doesn't move your business forward really. Checking into your groups, right? I'm sorry, I'm reading your comments a little bit. Checking into your groups, checking your coach online office, all those things. So those are all the things, like there's all these little things that are, I'll name it like this. There's business building activities, which go in the 20%, and there's business related activities that go in the 80%. So, and as far as the 52 book challenge, we don't have a list created. All we're doing is hashtagging 52 book challenge on Instagram. And then everybody can just search 52 book challenge and find books that people are reading and what they're saying. And then you can choose it. So yes, and that's what that Pareto's Law teaches you and what John C. Maxwell teaches you. Once you get to the point, you can delegate the other 80%. For example, I hired my mom last year to be my secretary. She sends out welcome emails to my customer leads. She checks my email. She does all that stuff for me. And then, when there's something important that comes through that needs my stuff and needs my interaction or personal engagement with the customer, she just shoots me a text and a list of people, and I go contact those people. And as far as getting them on the phone, all I do is I get a Facebook message, we're inviting for the challenge. I do all that on Facebook, and then they're like, hey, I'm interested in that group, or hey, what's coaching? Instantly then I say, hey, shoot me a text and I give them my number, and I say, let's set a time up to talk, and I schedule the phone call, and I get them on the phone, because that's where the action happened. That's where the result happens, that dark green. So I need to put more focus into that time. So realize there's business building activities and business related activities. The building ones are what I call creating magic. To make a little star, you've got to put most of your time into creating magic. And that's whether it's you're big on Instagram, or big on like pages, or big on a Facebook, your normal page, or you're big on YouTube, or you're big on just getting on the phone with people or meeting with people in person. Put the majority of your time into that, because that's going to create the 80% that moves your business forward. So if you can do that, you're not going to waste your time on other activity. You're going to create the things that you need to do as a leader, which is hit Success Club. You guys in this group should be aiming for Success Club 10 plus if you're going for Star Diamond. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to you guys on where you need to put your time? Awesome. If you guys have questions, we're always answering it. Okay. So now we want to talk about leading your team. Okay. And this part, I'm going to let you guys look at the picture for a minute. And I shared this analogy with coaches in Toronto this past weekend. So you guys want to build a team. So we talked about already dividing your time. So we're going to divide your time a few times. I need you guys to understand that. So first we talked about dividing your time, 80% of your time into creating the magic, talking to people, inviting them to your challenge groups, and sponsoring them. Business building activities versus business related. So the first thing, 80% of your time into creating magic, talking to people, inviting people, adding people to your network. 80% of your time. Even though I have 6,000 coaches, 80% of my time is still put into that. 20% is put into leading the team, running webinars, running Coach Basics groups, running challenge groups. The other 80% into inviting people to join those. Okay. There you go. We're going to talk about this now. Now we have 20% of your time left to lead your team, to create other leaders. And a great leader just doesn't have a big following. A great leader creates other leaders, right? And I'm going to share with you guys, just by doing this, we haven't even been a coach for 3 years now. We have four personally sponsored 6-figure earning coaches that earn $2,000+ a week, 3 of which became elite coaches last year and running their own ginormous teams. We have Shiva Latifi, we have Brigitte Linford, and and those are just some, and Jennifer Greenberg. So 3 years is the golden year, and they talk about that as well in other books. But you've got to stay consistent, and you've got to learn to apply this to your business and to your team. Now I'm going to talk to you guys very direct and very straight here. So Mindy, don't get upset at me. Meg either, and Brandy as well. No, one of the things I learned from one of my mentors is to tell truth more than flattery. Okay, so I'll give some examples. I was talking to a coach. Actually, a couple coaches had the same thing. We were talking. They pulled me aside at the meeting, which is why getting to live events are so important. So we get there, and I have a coach tell me what they've been doing. They've sponsored about, I think it was 9 coaches, right? So they have 9 coaches in the Running Coach Basics group, and there's not really anybody engaging in the group. Okay, I know you guys have all seen that. I see it every single day. Or you're running challenge groups and not everybody's coming to the challenge group, right? And they all committed to, but not everybody's doing it. So if I look at this, and I'm going to be 100% direct with you guys, I mean, sometimes I have great challenge groups, sometimes they suck, right? So if you look at this, you have, let's apply to a challenge group. Let's say I have 10 people in a challenge group. I'm not going to lie. I may have 5 or 6 that start out strong, but 2, 3 of them finish strong and stay with it the whole time. That right there, guys, is the 20% that produce 80% of my business. Looking at the Coach Basics group, I'm going to talk to you guys, brand new coaches right here, brand new emeralds and diamonds trying to build this business. You're going to start Coach Basics. You're going to have 10 people that say, I am freaking pumped up about this. I'm ready to build this business. I'm ready to do this. Tell me what to do. I'm going to do it. So you tell them, hey, I got Coach Basics. This is what we're doing. They know where to show up. You're like, I'm going to post an assignment every single day. Your job's to come 3 minutes, 5 minutes every day. Put it on your list. Do the assignment. Report back. How many people did you meet? How many people did you add to your network? How many people did you invite to your challenge group? How many people did you talk to about becoming a coach? How many pages of personal development did you do? What did you do for your workout? So you're holding them accountable. And they're like, yes, I want to be held accountable. I want to do this. I will tell you guys, I have 2 to 3 out of 10 finish it. I'll give you a direct example. I have a challenge group going right now. I have 3 out of 12 that are doing assignments every single day. All 12 of them did the first pre-kickoff for the Coach Basics, made videos. 3 of them stuck with it. 2 of them are becoming Emerald, and it's like the 3rd week in on Thursday. Sorry. So 2 of them are becoming Emerald and have hit Success Club 5 already. The other one, it has Success Club 12 right now and sponsored their first coach. These are the ones that are showing up. These are the 3 that I have to identify in my Coach Basics group, the 20% that produce 80% of the results or growth of our business. So you have to realize that that's normal across the board. I look at, that's directly relating to Team Beachbody, right? To our Coach Basics group or to your team. That's directly relating to that. I'm going to relate it to another business so that you know it's not just Team Beachbody that's like this. And sometimes you do have better numbers, but I want you to understand that that's going to happen sometimes because Pareto's law is across the board. I worked at a company with 120 people. They're a great company, absolutely great company. But I'll tell you what, there's the people that come, they interview and they hire people all the time. There's the people that come in, they show up every single day. They show up on time. They take their break for only the 10 minutes allotted. They're right back to work without messing around. They go to lunch. They come back. Some of them work through lunch. They're working harder than everybody else. They show up on time and they do their job. Guess what happens? They get raises. They get promoted, right? And I know because I started at a company in the very bottom sweeping floors and ended up running a service department 5 years later. And I saw people come and go, get interviewed. I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill this. This is my job. I'm so excited to work for this company. And then they come to work high, right? Or they drink and they come in hungover, or they come in 15 minutes late every single day. And what happens? They get fired. Now, unfortunately, we can't fire people, right? But you can choose who you water and who you help develop and grow in your company, which is the 20% that are showing up that are going to produce the 80% of your business. So just because you've sponsored 8 coaches, right? And that's what I said at the very beginning of this. We have 1,200 people that said, or 1,600 that said, I'm all in on doing this training, and we have 200 people here. We have one person, right? One person out of 10 that showed up. So what I'm saying is not a joke. It's completely true. You guys can see it firsthand. 223 out of 1,600 of you guys are here showing up. So we as leaders, Meg and myself, and everybody else, and Mindy, we all, and Brandy, sorry, we are all here, and we know who is doing the work, right? So just like at that company, I saw who moved up, I saw who got fired. New people came in, some moved up, some got fired. So you guys see it, right? We see that as well in our company, and that's how we know who to put our time and our energy into. So now I'm going to go back to leading your team. So you guys may have a coach basics, and this is where I want you to know that you're not failing, okay? This coach I talked to in Toronto, they have 9 coaches, right? And 1 or perhaps 0 are doing the coach basic stuff right now. What I want to tell you in what I told this coach is you are not failing, right? There's some things we need to change, but you're not a failure because other people aren't showing up. As long as you're showing up and you continue to hit your goals, we're going to find the people that are going to do what you tell them to do. But what was happening with this coach and with every coach on my team that I have this conversation with, and which happened with me, is what's depicted in this picture above, okay? I will be vulnerable with you guys. I'll tell you I went to Diamond in 93 days. I didn't know what Diamond meant. I didn't know what network marketing was. But I knew I wanted to be a diamond, so I made the decision, looked at the comp plan and figured out what that was, and made it happen. My wife was one of my first emeralds, and I made her an emerald, so I helped that happen. But once I became diamond, it took me 8 months for me to become. It took me 8 months to become a 1-star diamond. Okay, 8 months is too long. You can become a diamond in 90 days, 60 days, and a 1-star 60 days later if you follow Pareto's law. If you apply this 100% truly to your business, okay? So I got coach. Well, we could talk about sponsoring another day, but I got coaches because I had results. I was consistent, and I told people my story, and I was vulnerable enough to tell them. I'll tell you guys real quick, okay? I worked the business. I believed in myself, and I told people what I was going to do. I invited people to my house. I said, hey, these are my results with P90X. I want to share with you what I'm doing. I invited them over. My wife, Gabby, was at work because she used to work at night, and I was on my own. People came over. I had my kids with me, and I just showed up. These are my results so far with P90X. I was like, I signed up as a Beachbody coach. My coach, her name's Lindsay. She's been doing this for like a year. She's seeing some great success. She's helping people, making an impact. And I was like, I want to make an impact on people. But most of all, I want to bring my wife home from work. And by following her example, I know that if I help enough people, enough of you guys that want to do this with me, achieve your results with health and fitness, we can build a team of coaches and help more people, and I can bring my wife home from work. And people join me because they believed in the mission. They believed that I would do what I said I was going to do, that I was going to bring my wife home. And some people there connected with me and said, man, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a working single mom, and I want to not work. I want to be with my kids. I want to do what you're doing or what you're planning on doing. And I told them honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing yet, but we're going to figure it out, and we're going to do this. So if you're coming, you're coming. And I basically told them, if you're not coming, you're going to come later because you're going to watch us. So there you go. So that's what I did to invite people. So going on from there, we need to lead your team, right? So you may have 8 people in your Coach Basics, 6 people. Maybe you've sponsored your first 4, and you have one of them doing some of the stuff you've done. This is what you need. You need to set a standard right now for your team. This is for the future, because I'm not going to lie. I'm going to read a text. I'm going to tell you the mindset of our team and what we're doing. We're not just doing this to become a diamond coach. We're not just doing this even to be 6-figure earners, to make an impact. We are big dreamers. I'm going to read this to you. Sorry, I read text. I just realized I read text for you guys all the time. We set standards on our team of what our huge vision is, what our purpose is, and what we're going for. And then I'm going to read this right now. Hey, so I got Success Club 12. I'm really pushing. Grr, like they're upset they got 12. I always read text. And I put, hey, that's a great number. I'm proud of you. Then they wrote, but really digging into the structuring my team. Did I tell you that I'm building $1 million business? It's already been proven by earning the first dollar. Motivational Monday. Gratitude to you. So we have in our team, we have the mindset of building $1 million businesses, helping people live their dreams and live a healthier lifestyle. So I've set the standard in our team of that's the company we're building from day one. We're impacting, I'm going to say we're going to impact millions of lives, right? I know we only have 145,000, but I'm dreaming bigger than that. I'm setting the standard for my team. We're going to impact millions of lives, and we're going to lead our team. And so I have to figure out how to put my energy, because if you guys run, and Mindy will tell you this, she's a 7-figure earner. You have to know where to put your energy into this business, into your coaches to create the team, right? The team that you want. You have to know where to put that energy so that you don't drain your energy and become tired. And that leads into this picture. I'm leading into this picture for like the 5th time. So what this is a rancher. Okay, I'm in Idaho, so get that right. We're in Idaho, so you understand where I'm coming from sharing this with you. So we got a rancher here. He's unloading a bale of hay. The other one's got a pitchfork, and there's hay. What I want to tell you to do, I'm going to act this out right here, okay? I'm even going to stand back here. Here's what a lot of coaches do, okay? I'm totally standing up. Here's what coaches do. So you have coaches, and we're going to refer to your coaches as cows, okay? I know that sounds bad, but we need to make an analogy here. So you're the upline coach, and you have a herd of you're this rancher that has a herd of cows, right? This rancher, he needs his cows to grow. He needs his cows to be healthy. He needs his cows to be fed with that nutrition, with that hay, that alfalfa, whatever he's feeding. He needs them to eat, right? So us as coaches, we need to feed our coaches with passion. We need to feed our coaches with the information to help them grow. We need to feed them with personal development. We need to feed them with coach training, give them tools and action plans to take into their life and to grow. And you guys are moving on there. So what happens, and I want you to relate this here yourself, be the cow. We're going to have a ton of hashtag. So this is what happens, guys. So you have these coaches, these cows, right? And you're the rancher. This is what happens. You got cows over here, and over here you got one in Montana. You got one out in Florida. You got one in Canada. They're all over the place. And what you're doing is every single day you're picking up all this coach training, and you're like running over. This weighs like a ton. This is a bale of hay. And you're like, cow, you need to eat. Right, man? You run over there. You set it down. You run back. You pick it up. You take it over to the next cow. Bam, you set it down. Man, I am like worn out just doing that. Be the cow. So what's happening is, in this analogy, the rancher, if you go pick up the cow and bring it back to the hay every single day, that cow weighs like 2 tons. You're going to wear yourself out. You're going to say, this job sucks. I quit. And you're gone. You're out of the team. You wore yourself out. The other thing you're going to do, or that people do, is, let's say you bring the truck, you put the hay out, and then the cows are just out there. They're like, moo. They're not moving, because cows are lazy sometimes. So what the other coach does that's not effective is they run out and they pick up the 2-ton cow. They run the cow back and they set the cow down in front of the hay, and they like grab the head, and you're like, eat, cow. Here's the team call. Eat, right? And then they go get the next one and they bring it back, cow tipping, Sean. And then you force feed the cow, right? So let me tell you what, I'm like worn out just explaining that to you guys. So what? Now I need to relate this to you guys. You have to set the standard. I was in Montana, then in Toronto. I think I got some Canadian in me this past weekend. So what we need to do as a coach is, and what that rancher's done, is he's taught his cows, he's trained his herd that every morning at this time, whatever time it is, or 2 times a day, I'm going to bring the truck, I'm going to get the hay, and I'm going to put it out here for you. Your job, cow, if you want to survive, is you have to come eat this hay. I will bring it every day. You've got to come eat it if you want to grow and get stronger and stay alive. So what I've done with my business from the beginning, and I'll tell you guys, I set this up in day 1. I've set this up in day one in my getting started right calls with my coaches. I tell them where I'm going to bring the food. And I tell them, I will not build this business for you. I want more than anything in the world for you to grow your business, to become successful, to hit this and that, bring your wife home, whatever their why is. And I know you can do it, but I cannot do it for you. And I tell them we have a big team that's growing, and we're big because we teach you how to be self-sufficient. If you know, there's a Bible metaphor. If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll feed himself for the rest of his life. So you guys as leaders, you need to teach people how to fish. So what you need to do is when you do your to-do list that we've been talking about, you have your goals, you have your affirmations, you set your goals, and you do everything that you do. You've got to stay consistent, and you have to let your team know what the standard is for this business, and that the success is on them, that yes, you are going to bring the food every single day. And if that cow's struggling and they come to you and they're having trouble eating, that if they ask you for help, that you're going to give it to them, but you're not. I tell my coaches in that getting started right, I say, does that sound like a fair business agreement for me and you? That I will not babysit you. I will not text you every week and ask if you're coming on the call. I will not Facebook message you in 3 weeks saying, are you still doing your list? I will continue to show up to our team page every single day, just like I've said. I will pour out everything I learned to you guys. I will make sure there's a team call and a webinar for you guys to get on. And I will lead the example by running challenge groups, by inviting, and sponsoring people into my challenge group and as coaches on our team so that you have something to follow. And as we've done that, the team knows where to come. And I'm not going to lie, as a leader, as a big leader, that sets me up to be more comfortable with not feeling like I'm letting people fail. Because in the beginning, I was so guilty when those 8 people signed up and they wouldn't do what I told them to do. I felt guilty for that. And I didn't want to build a business that I felt guilty about. So from the beginning, I've set that in every getting started right call that I say, I can't do this for you. I want it so bad for you, but this is where I'm giving you the information to learn and grow. And you need to come here to get it. And if you struggle, you can text me, you can phone call me, you can write me a message, and I will make sure that we get on the phone and we talk about it and we work through it. But you've got to come get the food from me. So I want you guys to understand that that's what I've done with this. I didn't even tell Mindy exactly what I was going to go into today with this conversation, but this is what I've done, and it's created the most amazing leaders on our team. And I won't lie, I have coaches that have been coaches for 2 years that hit 1 Success Club a month or whatever it is they hit. And they're in this for the long run because they're growing through the personal development that I give them. And they feel a part of the team, and they don't blame me for where they're at because they know from day one that we have set up that it depends on them. So what were some of the hashtags? We have to remember the hashtags so that we can talk about them tonight on Facebook and Instagram. Moving on, I'm going to move on to the next one here. Okay. Sorry. I got like stuff popping up on my screen. Be the cow, moo. This recording's going. So with this being said, guys, the key to success is not doing more. It's doing more of what works. If you guys are out babysitting and chasing people around and carrying tons and tons and loads on your back for other people, you may be doing more than some other coaches. You may be doing 12 hours a day of work, and I'll tell you I'm doing 5 or 6, and we'll do more if we do what works best and what creates the other leaders. So remember, we got be the moo or whatever, moo cow. We got the fish analogy. You guys got to make some genius hashtags for that stuff. But just know that is what we've done. And I'm going to give an exact example right now that I wasn't going to share, but applies to the feed your cows. Yes, gone fishing. I'm going to give an exact example. I'm having trouble saying that. Scottie's farmer workout. You guys are awesome. So You guys made me, I lost my train of thought, dang it. What was I even saying? Scotty's farmer workout. That might, okay, focus. So I'm going to give you an exact, where's the beef? I'm going to give you guys an exact example, okay? I talked about the three elite coaches that came about this year on our team, the personally sponsored coaches. I will tell you, I'll give you the exact number right now for our income. I won't tell you our income, but I'll tell you something. So Brigitte Linford became an 8-star diamond and elite coach, number 16 in the company this year. So with what her income is per week right now, sorry, I'm going to calculate real quick while you guys hashtag the crap out of that stuff out there. So with what her income is, her income, what I'm talking about is basically coming from her team bonus cycles by leading her team, the team volume that she's growing. That team volume alone in my business, in my weekly income, creates an income. Get this. This is one coach, one of my 20 percenters, creates for my business a commission for me of $4,800 a week. I'll give you a second to put that in. The other one produces about $2,400 per week in my business because of putting that time into helping create that income. All right, create that income for them, create that next leader, the next Scottie Hobbs, or I guess they're better than me, I say. Both of those coaches are more amazing than I am. So, and I didn't just say I'm amazing, I'm just saying we've created some awesome leaders. So what I want you to know, yes, that's from team volume. So what I want you guys to know is that is how these elite coaches, these leaders, are able to continue to be the example, hit Success Club 10 every single month, right? Is because 80% of their time is into finding, inviting, sharing, creating magic, getting people into their challenge group as customers or coaches. And then the next thing that's coming, the other 20% that they're doing is they are feeding the cows by setting the standard of where to come to be fed. And then you guys have to realize, you guys have to get in the mindset right now that you own that business, and you are going to set that up right now and tell your people where to come. And when they come eat it, when they come eat that food, that's the coach that you put your 80% of your time in, that you allocate to your coaches, and they're going to produce that growth in your business. Okay. So I'm extremely glad that you guys got on here tonight. And I love all the hashtags. Somebody's going to have to write those out for us. But I believe in you guys. Feed your cows, right? Don't carry your cows. I believe in you guys. And remember, it's not about doing more. It's about doing more of what works. So that is my leadership lesson for today. I give it 100%. Okay. We're giving 100%, guys. Go in, make sure that you guys set the standard. But then if you guys set that standard for your team, then you have to freaking show up every single day. Do not let them down. You don't want those cows coming and you're gone because you're in a funk, or you're gone because you're in a bad mood. You have to get in the mood every day and run your business like a multi-million-dollar business and show up so that those cows don't starve if they do come. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.